Hey guys, Maddie here from DCLblogger.com. Making a video right after an announcement that was made recently, I think a few days ago, where we were given news on what's going to happen to district land, as in which districts are going to go ahead, which districts are going to be dissolved, what's going to happen to the dissolved land, etc. etc. So I'm going to first cover this blog post very briefly, and then go ahead towards, we're going to look at the map and take a look at which locations are actually going to be dissolved and what it looks like on the map. So all of these districts, and there's about 10, 20, 30, 40, maybe 40, rough count, 40 districts that are going ahead, 40 plus or minus a few. So these districts are going to go ahead, and they're pretty much the major ones. So district land transfers, what's going to happen now is that the district leads are going to send over their KYC to Decentraland, and then they're going to get tokens that represent the land within those districts, which they're going to decide to distribute to the community or do something else with it. But seems like there may be some land that's going to come out on the marketplace that represents certain districts. So if you haven't contributed to Ethereum and they decided to distribute their tokens or their land tokens to their contributors, I'm not sure if they can trade them. They may be allowed to, or they may decide to. Who knows exactly what they're going to do. But if there is the ability to trade these land tokens, it's going to introduce a whole new variable in the land marketplace. It's going to be interesting. Inactive districts. So there's quite a few inactive districts, or districts that for whatever reason did not continue, and here are the reasons here below. The district's contributors vote in favor of dissolving the district. More than 12 months lapse between updates to the district. More than 6 months lapse between active leadership of the district, or an inability to meet community deadlines. So what happens to districts that are dissolved? The original mana, so the contributors get their exact mana that they contributed back. So that's already happened to automatically to each person's wallet. What happens to the land that makes up the dissolved district? Eventually, this land is going to be auctioned after the Decentraland platform has officially launched. So we know that the official launch is aimed at Q2, so the second quarter of 2019. And once that happens, and I think the whole activity and kind of bug fixing and everyone's that whole phase is over, there may be a third auction. Well, it's not there will be a third auction, because that's what they're saying they're going to do. So it's just going to come up to Agora voting as to when we want that third auction to take place, going by the huge majority in the vote for the second auction being as close as possible. I'm pretty sure the next auction is going to be as quick as possible, because there's nothing more fun than having another auction. Which districts are being dissolved? So these are all the districts that are being dissolved. Now let's kind of take a look at what this looks like on the map. I've opened up Photoshop and I've colored in light pink. What the exact districts that are going to be dissolved. Mind you guys, one quick note is I can't find this district. In fact, I've never heard of it. Bitunia, I do not know how to pronounce it, and I have never seen it. Apparently it's being dissolved now. I couldn't even find it on the map. Secondly, there on this list there's also Art Lab, but according to the admins, there's a couple of the admins in Decentraland, they've had a chat with them and they're actually going to continue. So I haven't made them pink. Another thing to note, is the districts that are going to be dissolved. You can see that if they're not going to be dissolved, when you click on the district, it's going to fully light up the whole district. Now, if you click on a district that is going to be dissolved, even though Art Lab kind of looks like this, it's not, because it's going ahead, so it's a bit of a weird case. But let's look at some other ones. So for example, Arena seems like they're not going ahead, and because they're on the list and they're not going ahead, you can see that the lands are all individual. So I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe they've already gone ahead and done that so that they're going to later transfer, auction off these lands. But you can see all of these ones here as well. They've all been made individual, except for Mother Russia, which is going to continue. Mother Russia land. This one, is it going to continue? So you can kind of go ahead and see which ones are going to continue, which ones aren't. We know this one is not going to continue, Freedom City. So again, it's kind of made individual. That's an interesting thing you can check out. All right, so this is what the pink ones are, the districts that are not going to go ahead. I'm pretty sure Greenpoint makes up about 400 land pieces in itself. So if that's 400, there's 100 there, that's 500, about 650, maybe 750, yeah, 750, 800, maybe 800 lands that are going to be dissolved, that are district lands, are going to be up for auction. I don't know, I haven't done the exact count, I can't be bothered doing the exact count, but my rough estimate is that. So on this map, the light pink are the ones that are going to be dissolved. You all know the colors for the other ones. I've kind of taken this using my wallet. So all of these dark red ones are my lands. I just didn't want to, I couldn't be bothered blurring them out. Not blurring them out, I mean like, taking them off the map. Although I could have just selected another wallet or something and then it would have taken that off. Anyway, so yeah, this is what it's going to look like. And check this out, right? So I've kind of, if I just activate this layer, it's going to look like that. So once these lands are auctioned off and other people own these lands, it's going to kind of look like this. So it doesn't really make that much of a change to the landscape. There's still a ton of districts, guys. And it's probably because the dominant larger districts still exist and are moving forward. But it hasn't changed. There isn't much that has changed. It is still quite sad to see Greenpoint go. They made up a big part of the center part of the districts, the center districts, and they're a large district and look very active and very motivated towards their cause. But anyway, hopefully at some point they may come back. Looks like they won't though. But this is what it's going to look like pretty much, right? Now a lot of this land. There's so much of this land that's connected to Genesis Plaza, and that makes it pretty premium, to be honest. Genesis Plaza land, individual land, kind of gets picked up at about 70,000 mana. 65, 60 is about the bottom, depending on where the Genesis Plaza land is. Like if you're selling one over here where there's not much district activity around these Genesis Plazas, then yeah, 65 to 70. But I've seen ones connected to right here. Over here or here, sell for 100,000 mana. We all know the few that sold here. I think they sold for like 300,000 mana each. Genesis Plaza land is actually very, very expensive depending on the location. For example, like this spot here would probably go for a premium. These bits here are pretty good location. Even these over here are a nice location. I'll check out all of these that once they're auctioned off. There's quite a lot of Genesis Plaza land that's going to be auctioned off, and hopefully people can pick up one whole set and replace one of these districts that are going to be dissolved. So this auction is going to take part sometime in the way future. Not really worth strategizing about it that much at the moment. But my general strategy, knowing that an auction has been coming up, is accumulating mana, intelligently buying and selling land that I do not want. You can see that I have a lot of single parcels over here. I've got about 10 single parcels over here. I've got a lot of land over here that I don't really need to keep them all. So I'm hoping to get a lot of mana reserved for land that I can buy in the third auction. My goal in Decentraland has always been to get really well situated estates. That's my goal. And I've picked up two that I believe are really, really well situated. Personally, for me, I like large estates. The bigger, the better. I want to make something really, really big, kind of like a Coliseum, a battle arena, something really fun, exciting that everyone can participate in. So I've got this one over here, Whale Estate. I've also got these two smaller estates in a different wallet, so I can kind of join them to this, and it becomes like a 8x5, which is pretty big. Even this is just a 5x5 if you want to count that. But I still have, this road end can be like a viewing point to see what's happening within the arena. So spectators can stand here or around here on the edges, and battle entrance can kind of get ready in these small little 2x2 meter 2x2 land, I don't know, like rooms or whatever. I don't know, still an idea. I don't know, it might be a haunted mansion. I might do something with it. I've also got this awesome piece that I picked up just recently, a 4x5, so 20 land pieces connected to a Genesis Plaza, which is pretty epic. I think it's one of the biggest lands, yeah, one of the biggest estates, surely in the top 5 biggest estates that are connected to a Genesis Plaza. Okay, maybe not in the top 5, maybe top 10, but it's a decent sized Genesis estate. And the really cool thing about it is it sits in between two or three Chinese districts. So there's Dragon City, Dragon Kingdom, and I think this one is China City. Yeah, DCL China City. So I think because this community is all similar, I feel like they're going to kind of move in between this area over here. So these districts or these lands over here might be predominantly from the Chinese community. I'm not too sure. And having this Genesis Plaza land or estate sit over here, you know, it might be a good opportunity to rent it to someone else or even create an experience over there. So I've got some other estates over here that are kind of awesome as well. This one's connected to Anarchist International, which seems very active as well. And yeah, anyway guys, exciting news that there is going to be another auction. I really hope that the land that is going to be auctioned off goes in good hands. Like, this is really premium and important pieces of land to own, just because of how central they are, just also because they're connected to Genesis Plazas. So I hope that people that grab them are going to do something with them, build something on them, rent them to someone that can do something with them. I wish they could have gone to some like quality developers somehow, maybe Animoca brands that we have a partnership with that are bringing 2 virtual reality games to the platform, to Decentraland. We all know there's like another 6 or 7 games that are coming to Decentraland. So it would have been really cool to give him this, but of course that would be quite a centralized decision to just give him that land. But let's see what happens. Let's see who gets this land. Anyway guys, so the 3rd auction coming up. Just wanted to make a quick video on that. Hope you guys are preparing for 2019. Hopefully this will be a year where we'll see some positive momentum with Bitcoin. But it's all exciting nonetheless. Looks like last year, pretty much all of last year, we've gone down. So I wouldn't be surprised if at the very least we go sideways this whole year. But hopefully there'll be some positive momentum. Enjoy the year guys, and I'll see you guys in another video.